your heart out.
Hi, I'm Kayla Ogden.
And I'm Rachel Sear.
And this is Write Your Heart Out.
Oh, I was going to say it with you, and then I got scared.
Guys, we are back.
It's been a little bit of a hiatus.
Yeah.
But, you know, summertime.
Summer is whack for podcasts and being productive and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We tried. I mean, it's not like we didn't try.
We did try. There was multiple attempts to schedule and multiple fails.
Now things are getting into a bit of a flow. Is your life starting to flow, get into routine, kids back in school, all this
Thank
kind of
God.
stuff?
Yes. Get those little suckers back in school.
Yeah.
I need a schedule. I don't do well without a schedule. So, yes, I'm ready to roll.
Me too. I think that we're back to weekly podcasting,
Yeah,
don't you?
I think so.
The last time we talked about this, you had completed, I think, just your first draft of your novel.
I did, yes.
And you had taken it to camping with your in-laws, and you had printed out this little FedEx copy of it.
Yep.
And had done some editing on it. So where are we at now?
So because I needed to do the editing by hand to like turn my brain on correctly for that. So now I'm going back into the digital version and putting in my edits into the typing, which is great. I think that it's been very efficient, and I've like found a lot of holes in what I was writing. But the more time I'm having away from it, because I decided I just needed a full-on break. So I haven't worked on it in a few weeks. The longer I'm taking from it, the more I'm like, ooh, maybe I want this person to do this. And I'm realizing that I need a lot more background in the marriage of Sam and her husband, because you're supposed to care about why they have this like weird little thing in their marriage. But like you don't know enough about them yet to care about why they have that.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you know, as we've talked about, this like sexy ex comes through the door, and it's like, okay, well, if her and her husband suck, then why isn't she hopping on that dick? But like, okay, so now we need to care about the marriage in order for you to understand why she has this conflict.
Yes.
And so I definitely saw that big loophole. So I haven't worked on it, but I've been really trying to take notes in my phone of how can I make it clear how much her and her husband love each other, and even if it's just a hard spot, like why that is something that matters. And then yesterday you had me listen to this guy that we'll go into more later, but he was talking about, you know, like the heroes power, like not powers, that's not what he says. It's kind of like their powers.
I think he does say that, yeah. So the video, by the way, it's by this guy. He has a YouTube channel called Screenwrite with James A. Hurst, and he's a screenwriter. His videos are really good, and the one that Rachel's about to talk about is called Hero's Gift.
Oh yeah, the gift.
The secret ingredient that powers great stories. And there was another one called Screenwriter's Secret to Unstoppable Conflict.
Yes.
Where he talks about sort of like a philosophical theory called the unity of opposites. So it sounds like when you've been editing, well, you just watched these last night, but are you thinking about what your character's like sort of superpower is?
Yeah, well, Sam, the main character, like, I'm like, what is her gift? And I do feel like she has some good qualities that are like gift but then I'm also like the conflict, there's some heavy conflict, but there needs to be more context to the conflict, which is why I feel like the marriage kind of has to be more prominent so that the conflict makes more sense, because otherwise you're just like, oh
yeah, another shitty marriage, like maybe it's time for her to leave, and maybe this person showed up at a good time or whatever, right? Like, but that's not what your story is. In your story, you're supposed to want the marriage to prevail.
Maybe.
Or at least, you should at least be conflicted about that.
Yeah.
Like, there should be some push and pull with that.
Right. And I don't want it to be a book about marriage. I don't want their marriage to be the focus. So it's like I have to figure out a nuanced way to make you care. I have to save the cat in the marriage. The marriage has to save a cat.
Yes.
You know, you have to want the marriage to matter in order to understand why there's any of this angst and stuff happening.
Okay, that's
Right?
a really good way of putting it. What Rachel and I have talked about before is in the saves the cat template. If you have a character that is, a negative character that you want to ingratiate to the audience, you have to make them quote unquote save a cat. And you'll see this all the time in movies. Just a character will just go ahead and there'll be like a little kitten on the road and this big gruff villain will like pick it up and like feed it milk from its palm or whatever. Literally people do the cat thing, but there's a lot of different ways to do that, to show a softer side, to show a side, to endear us to that character so that our feelings about the story just get richer. And I think what you're saying is like we need to be endeared to the marriage in some way in this story in order for us to care about the fact that the protagonist is thinking about blowing it up. Like we have to be going, no, 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 don't do it. Or, oh, would I do that?
Right.
Like, should she keep working on it? Is it worth it?
And I'm also like toying with this idea of maybe the marriage should be terrible. And so you're voting for her to fuck it up. Ooh. I have two kind of versions in my head, but either way I have to make this marriage into something that is like chewable so that you want something to happen to it,
Right. It's right now it's just I haven't read it, but it's just feeling a little light. Like it's just a symbol,
Right.
It's like it could mean so many different things to so many different people.
Totally.
People do this to me all the time when I talk about my story. All of a sudden they'll just come in and whip out like a scene or like a whole ass storyline for me. They'll be like, well, what if there's a treasure in the basement and then she could do this and she could do that? And you're like,
shut up.
That's not, that's no. Like, what? But you're also like, no, I always just say, oh, wow, that's a good idea. You have blown my mind. I'm going to go home and really give that some thought. Yeah, let me just ruminate on that one for a while. The treasure. Yeah, treasure. That's what I need. Like I just tell people what they want to hear.
What else are you going to do? Be like, you're stupid.
Yeah.
You're a nice person, Kayla.
Piece of shit. Get the fuck out of my face. You're not a writer.
Write your own goddamn book.
What, you think you're a writer now? No, I don't know. I'm not honest about things when I don't give a shit and I don't want to get into it. You know what I'm saying? It's
of course.
Do I now want to tell you why I think your treasure idea is stupid and like get into all that and now hurt your feelings and stuff? No, I want to move on. And yet, here I am, and I'm about to do it to you.
Oh, okay. Yes, give it to me.
Okay.
I'll be very nice.
Okay, yeah. Tell me that it's just what you needed.
Okay.
Well, I think one way you could, if you wanted people to like the man and like them together or whatever, you could have like the kids call and FaceTime. And like you have her and her husband having a cute moment FaceTiming, or maybe something's happening with the kids in the hotel room and then or Sam and her husband have to break off for a couple beats. Maybe there's like a scary wound or something and then they get to go back to the party and she's seeing a side of him that she finds like he's taking control, like he's sexy, like how much her kids love him or something like that.
Yeah.
That could make that part deeper, something with the kids.
Yeah.
But that would be more the side of liking the marriage and seeing the good things in it. But them having a really shitty marriage would be interesting.
Yeah.
But it would be like going from shit to shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes in life we
Happens.
do. Like maybe Sam just doesn't know how to pick them.
Which is very possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Possible.
Well, I will take that note and I'll think about it.
Yeah. Are you going to go write it? We got to stop podcasting so you can write that?
Yeah, I should go. I
could write it and then you could just slip it in.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Okay. Well, hold on. We need to go back to that guy. Yeah, but before we do that, I want to hear about what you've been working on. And you sent me your updated The Woman Tree, but I was not able to read it last night. I wish I could have, but I couldn't.
That's actually good.
Okay.
I took some time off during the summer too. After I had talked to Rachel about, getting in my head too much, I switched the protagonist from a male to a female and then back to a male. And now all of my files, like when I went back to it the other day to start writing again, all of my files were in some state of weird like ADHD disarray where like half of one, it was a woman, the protagonist, and then it's like I got confused with my files, and then half and half is a woman and a man, and it's like, what did I do? Basically, what I've done is I created a plot and the characters that are in it and certain things that were going to happen. And then I fed it into ChatGPT.
Oh, baby.
And I asked ChatGPT to game out my plot in a saves the cat way. It was like no prob, and it just was like boom, 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 and it made my plot a saves the cat plot.
Interesting.
And it wasn't very good.
Well, of course. It doesn't know how to write a book. I mean, it does know how to write a book, but like not with heart or soul.
No, not with heart or soul. Like, first of all, I said to ChatGPT, is it okay that I'm getting you to do this, or is it not okay? Is it still considered my writing? And ChatGPT was like, go for it, girl. Like, it's fine. Actually, ChatGPT was like, publishers and editors and agents now expect writers to use large language models.
Okay.
Like ChatGPT, like AI, as tools, like to help them in their writing. Is it fair that we have word processors? Is it fair that we have spell check and grammar check? Is it fair, like, if you get somebody to help you plot out your novel, it's still your novel, but this just happens to be like ChatGPT. And also ChatGPT did a way shittier job than I think a person would have done, but they did it in like 1/1,000,000th of time that it would take for a person to do, including myself. But I liked it did still help me to have the beats like just laid out formatting wise and have it stick some stuff in there that I could like totally change. I told ChatGPT that I wanted my story to be like a tearjerker. Like, I wanted people to cry. And it was like, okay, let me redo this with like the crying beats. I feel like I want to pull this up to share, because it was ChatGPT, you do not know how to cry. And
What's that, heart and soul?
Yeah. Oh, so after I told it I wanted to make people cry, it added a crying trigger to every single chapter.
Oh my God.
So it thinks I'm going to make people cry in every single chapter of this book.
Well, it's going hard.
Never has a book made anyone cry that much. So what you guys, I think, know about my work in progress, this novel that I'm trying to write, is that it's about an island nation where all the women have died, and the protagonist is a young man who is working on a sheep farm that has been in his family for generations. I have a whole plot that I wrote. I put it into ChatGPT. It divided it up into a saves the cat type of template. And so the first chapter is the opening image, which is something that Saves the Cat says to do, where you show life as normal. So you go, this is how life is for my character before the inciting incident fucks it all up. And so what ChatGPT gave me was, and this is not something that I wrote, Perry is on the farm tending sheep in silence, and he looks in the drawer and he sees the women's underwear. It's like a shrine of grief because they are no longer with us. The crying trigger is that Perry sets out 2 extra plates at the table out of habit for his mother and his sister. Then he quietly puts them back. So we're supposed to believe that this guy, mother and sister, have been dead for 13 months, accidentally is setting out plates for them on the table. But then he realizes, oh, right, they're dead.
He also has a shrine of their underwear.
And then we're supposed to cry.
Like mommy's undies.
Yeah, like why would he be looking in their underwear drawers? Like,
he's making Perry a real creep. I mean, a good old chatty.
Yes. Okay, so this is another. So then in the next chapter, the theme is stated and it's the setup. So this is how you're supposed to do it, as I said, in Save the Cat. That's the next beat, is stating the theme. And somebody is supposed to state the theme of the whole book to your character. And it's usually not another main character. It'll just be sort of like an aside. And so ChatGPT wrote my neighbor muttering the theme. And it is the theme, so I'm not going to say it. Which actually, that was good. That's helpful for me because I'm like, oh, okay, like somebody should say the theme to him. And I did end up writing that, but I wrote it in like a way creepier, like cooler way.
Ooh, yeah.
But it was nice to have this laid out, like, oh, that could happen in chapter 2. I ended up having my theme stated in chapter 1 so far, but it's just nice to see this laid out like this, and it makes me see what I don't want to do. Because, you know, if you see something done poorly, sometimes it goes, oh, that would have been so much better if this.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
This is one thing that I think is also stupid, that this is the cry trigger that ChatGPT wrote for chapter 2, is that Perry rereads his father's divorce letter, which is stuffed in a drawer. And the cry trigger is that he traces his father's signature with his finger, then slams the drawer shut.
Wow.
That's gonna make you cry, Rachel.
Yeah, Perry's got to stay out of those drawers.
Perry is a really sad man.
Oh.
Like, I mean, in the story, he is a sad man, but he's not just like roaming his house weeping.
Right?
And looking at underwear and looking at old letters and putting like, he's not like, he doesn't have Alzheimer's, or he's not delusional where he doesn't know that people are
like
dead.
being a
or people
sad
are
man and
divorced.
being a mopey man are very different.
Yeah.
He's not mopey.
He's
is he?
not. No, he's not a mopey man. I sort of want to read all the cry triggers.
This is really funny. I want to hear the cry triggers.
So on chapter 3, the setup is continued, and the cry trigger is that a fleeting memory of his lover's laugh cuts through the silence. So I don't know why. Oh no, you know what I just realized? Okay, I love the name Perry for a guy and for my protagonist, but I just realized that I've been listening to this song in the car, and it's a kid song from the soundtrack of Phineas and Ferb, which is like a little Disney cartoon show that my kids love. And there's somebody in that show called Perry the Platypus.
Yeah, I was just about to say the platypus.
Fuck, does everybody know that?
No, don't worry about that. I love the name Perry. I like when I hear Perry, I'm like imagining these set of twins that I went to not preschool, kindergarten through 3rd grade with, Zeki and Perry, and they were like the cutest twins ever.
And they were boys?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So no one's gonna think of Perry the Platypus.
No, a
little bit,
unless you're like gearing towards Gen Z people and younger.
Oh, right. Because
like,
the parents don't necessarily know. No, I don't think so. Yeah, no, not Gen Z and younger. No,
yeah.
No. Okay, wow. Crisis of Verdicts. I don't want to think of a different name.
I mean, I've seen a good amount of Phineas and Ferb, and it didn't even cross my mind.
Oh, really? You've watched it?
Well, unfortunately. I mean, no. I mean, it's a great show. Great show.
One thing, and the ChatGPT keeps on making these like really crazy like coincidences. Like Perry goes into Lord City. This is like a dystopian novel. It's like this city, and where we're supposed to cry in that chapter is in a shop window. A doll wears the exact same yellow dress that was always his sister's favorite.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. I mean, I guess that could be okay. I'm not sure, but it's like...
Do you know your sister's favorite dress?
No, but I do know, like, there are certain things that she has had that I remember. For example, when we went to Mexico when we were tweens with my mom, she bought a silver necklace with like a drop of triangle drop of turquoise.
Okay.
And she wore it, and it's so her, or it was so her, and I always envied it and wanted it. So
okay.
Something
so,
could be
sure,
something.
Sure. I'm like, if my brothers died and I saw in a shop window, what would it be? That
Their
like
shirt, their beanie, or like you would never notice.
I mean, I guess, I mean, there's
maybe from when they were teenagers, they had a certain cool thing they wore. Like that kind of stuff, I think makes more of an impression than.
I guess I mean, maybe I'm just I can't think of anything.
Yeah. Maybe if they had been sisters and they'd been wearing cool clothes, it might have made more of an impact.
Maybe that's possible. Girls, guess, I suppose that would make sense. There was a point in time where my little brother wore like, this sounds ridiculous, and sorry, Davey, for calling this out, but like he had like a little rope that he had around, like with a mason jar that he would wear around his neck, and he like had to hit a beverage in there all the time, and like that.
Did it have a lid on it?
I feel like it did, and it was usually some sort of like juice, because he was like in his hardcore like vegan hippie phase.
Oh,
and I mean, if there was a doll with a juice jar, maybe that would make me think of him.
yeah.
I don't know.
I've never seen that anywhere. Like, I've never seen a hippie wearing a
No, it
mason
was-
jar around his neck with a rope.
It was very distinct to him, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could he pull it off?
It was a rough phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he have like little juice splotches on his shirt?
Probably.
Probably right where the rim hits the belly.
I don't remember.
It's like there's a reason why people don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, he was so young. You know, he was like probably 19. We all make questionable choices when we're 19, right?
I looked like shit for between the ages of like 13 and 23 that decade.
Oh my God.
I was making a lot of bad choices, guys.
Me too.
I know you were, because you told me that you used to just wear overalls and walk around with
No shoes on.
bare feet.
Yeah.
Like walk around where?
Anywhere. I would walk I would walk from my parents' house downtown, go out to food. Like I had no qualms with going into a store or a restaurant with no shoes on. I went to school with no shoes on. Like,
whoa.
And I had like 3 favorite shirts, and I would just like alternate them under these overall. But I only wore them Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays because I thought that maybe no one would catch on if it was bad. It was bad.
You thought no one would know you were wearing the same overalls all the time if you spaced it out.
Or the same 3 shirts.
You're like, I won't be overall girl if I sometimes
I was
wear something
definitely weird. I was a weird teenager.
That's good.
And I think about it now, and like if I saw me, like if I currently, as a almost 40-year-old woman, saw a teenager walking around as obnoxious as I was, oh God, I would be like, ugh, that child should be reprimanded. Keep them at home.
Like someone
clothes.
tell them to.
I mean, I was told, and in my parents' defense, they were like, you should probably wear shoes. And I was like, I don't care. All right, anyway, back on subject. Keep going. Give us one more cry trigger real quick.
Okay, let me see. Oh. At one point, his lover says they're barely conscious after being beaten.
Oh, no.
Which was not a part of the plot that I gave it. So it came up with this woman getting beaten half to death. So thanks for that, ChatGPT. And she's barely conscious, and she whispers, "See me." And then Perry says back, "I do."
Oh.
And then we're supposed to cry.
Wow.
But the barely conscious person is like sort of trans. Yeah, ChatGPT is doing some heavy lifting here, wanting Perry to his story arc to be about, seeing this transgender person for who she truly is. So, I mean, ChatGPT is doing some stuff, but I don't know if I'm going to beat a trans person half to death in my book.
Well, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Let them live.
Let them live. Anyway, I had it do that, which is really interesting. It was really interesting to feed my plot in and then have it carved out by ChatGPT into all the beats.
Yeah.
And then just be able to write from there. Within that, I'm totally free. And I'm not going to use any of the weird stuff that it just like gave me, but it really gets my mind going to be able to like critique what it's done, just to have a point of reference for when I'm writing, like, okay, I sort of wrote that part, I stated the theme, now what's the next part I'm supposed to do, this is how he suggested I do it, but I'd rather do it this way, or it makes more sense to do it this way. So this is like a really good way for me to work.
Yeah.
Today I was listening to an episode of the podcast The Shit No One Tells You About Writing. Have you listened to it?
No.
Okay, it's really good. It's really good, especially once you're getting into like like the querying phase. But it was talking to a debut author, and she was talking about her path to publication. And the way that she did it was she wasn't done her novel yet, but she was kind of getting close. And she started getting into contests, sort of like you and I were trying to do before. She did a lot of the ones that are like the first 5 pages of your novel.
Yeah.
And she did big ones because she wanted something in her query letter where she could have a line that said, the first 5 pages of this work were longlisted for this prize and shortlisted for this prize and won this prize or whatever, right? So then that would really get her some attention. She ended up getting, longlisted and shortlisted for these prizes, and she even won one. At one of the prizes, one of the judges was an agent who was interested in her.
Cool.
So that really makes me want to, whenever I feel like I have the first 5 pages down, even if I haven't completed the work, I want to just start sending it out.
Yeah.
I think I did that with my last novel, but I haven't heard back from a lot of those contests.
No, me neither. But I think that they had some pretty long wait times. Like, I think that was pretty standard for it to have. Like, one of the contests that I submitted to, I can't remember which one it was, it said October. You had to wait till October.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Novelry Prize, that big one, the big story idea prize where you win $100,000 and whatnot, that one, I think at the end of September, they're going to give, like the long list or whatever, and then I think people are going to vote. So it's like the public votes.
Right.
But they got 22,000 applicants. Did you know that?
Dang, no, I did not know that. Whew.
22,000.
Well, look at us standing out in there, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, then now, because the Novelry put on this big contest and they got so many people's like information who, have these books that supposedly they want to finish, they're like, leveraging that. One of the things that they have a new like little course out there where it's like finish your book by the end.
Yes, I was about to bring that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Novelry has sort of a course out called like finish your book by Christmas, I think, which I thought about joining.
Yeah, are you going to do it?
Well, now that I'm saying this out loud, it sounds really stupid, but I was like, well, I don't really want to join it if I'm going to win this big contest. And they're going to give me a free one anyways. Or what if they like mine, but then they see that I've already given them money and they're like, oh, well, we might as well give this to somebody who...
I think that you think that they're thinking about it too much.
I think it's such a pie in the sky idea that I would even get noticed, and I should just continue life as usual.
I think that if you're interested in this other course and the 90-day book writing thing, like, do it. Period. There's no if I do this, then that. Like, all of it's good writing practice at the core, at the very base level. And so what if?
Yeah. I think like I'd like to be involved in something where there's some accountability, there's some structure, there's some people, but I think it would be nice if it were in person.
Yeah.
But it seems like nobody wants to do anything in person anymore.
No, I need in person, which is why I was going to school, which I am taking this whole semester off. I was going to take a screenwriting class. I was going to take a few classes. And then I realized I can't go to school. I have no ability to go to school because of my kids' school schedule, and when the classes are for the entire month of September because of my travel and the kids' school. And so I'm missing the full first 5 weeks of class. Like that sounded really shitty to me. And my personality does not jive with that. Like if I'm going to miss that much school, I'd rather just start when I can be there fully. I dropped all the classes. I'm going to start again in the spring, and that'll be that.
Okay. Can people start in the winter, or it's just...
No, it's fall semester, spring semester, or summer semester. Start spring semester. I might just be a spring chicken at school,
Yeah.
The one thing I'm bummed about is that I can't be in the creative writing club if I'm not taking a class. And
oh, you can't?
I don't think so. Because I think you have to be an enrolled student. I mean, I could potentially just show up on campus and see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm friends with them, because a lot of them were in my class before. I don't think they'd kick me out, but also I do think that the students who are there actively enrolled in these classes should take priority time in this limited time of the club, you know? Right? I mean, I want them to feel like they get to value each other and that it's not just like some woman coming in and being like, read my shit. You know?
Like for
funsies. I don't know.
Yeah.
I respect all of them as writers in general. They're all like such good people and talented. And so I want them to make sure that they know I respect their time.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. I want to be a part of a writing group. My son's teacher this year does playwriting, but he said that he was part of a really active group in the South Bay, like closer to San Jose. They meet all the time and, you know, they're really involved in each other's writing and stuff. And he's really great.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, maybe I could like get in on
playwriting?
He's
it's a playwriting group or just a writing group?
Just a writing group.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So
I would love to be a part of a writing group.
Should we see if maybe that one's okay?
Yeah, I would love to. I feel like that would be really good for me to have like other points of view and hear what other people are working on.
Yeah.
Just to keep it like fresh in my head and all, you know, just.
Yeah. I also just want people in my life who are a part of the literary community in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. Even if they're part of the literary community is just coming to this club and that's what we're building. Sure. Whatever it is, just something. Oh, I'm sorry. My email the New York Times just said, breaking news, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce announced their engagement.
Oh my God. It popped up in the right-hand corner of my screen that we're recording on. And I was like, when you were talking about one of your cry triggers, and I was like, oh, inappropriate timing to see that.
Congratulations to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
Oh, should we tag them when we post this episode?
Oh my gosh, yes.
We'll get a bunch of Swifties in here. Good for them.
Hey, way to go. She found her person. Anyways, I don't really want to start a creative writing group because I don't want the responsibility of everybody sitting down and looking at me like, where do we start?
100%. I want to join a group.
Yeah, I want to join a group. Yeah. I've never been a part of one before. So if you're out here and you live in the San Mateo County and you are in a writing group and you like us, please invite us.
Please invite us.
But I'm going to ask my son's teacher what this group is and if Rachel and I can go. And if we do go, we will report back.
Yes. Okay. So playwriting, I have absolutely no interest in. No offense to
me neither.
Am, as we've talked about, super interested in screenwriting. I think my next project, when I'm ready to move on from Dinner for Eight, is going to be a screenwriting project. I don't know what I'm doing. I've been doing a little like trying to find like how a screenplay is written out, like how all that works, and. I have a really interesting concept idea. I am kind of excited about that idea, but it definitely isn't a book. Like, I feel like it should just be a screenplay.
Okay. You know, you could feed your current work into ChatGPT and ask it to reformat it into a screenplay.
We will have to do a whole episode about it. I am so anti-AI.
Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. So you know what this is? The YouTube channel Screenwrite with James A. Hurst. Mm-hmm. One of the videos that we watched that we were talking about today was about the unity of opposites. He was saying this is how you create unstoppable conflict in your book is by creating two characters who are opposites in like a bunch of different ways. They're maybe stuck together, but they like need something from each other, right. But they're totally opposite.
My favorite example in there was Jesse Pinkman and the teacher from Breaking Bad. Walter White. Yeah. There we go. And like that is his examples of how opposite they are, of like this addict who has a big heart and, you know, just kind of needs money and is kind of trapped in helping versus this like diabolical genius who is like, we got to kill if we got to kill, you know, like, and how they're trapped together.
Yeah, they need each other.
Yeah. But even his example of The Sopranos, where it's like a conflict of character, but all within himself, of like he wants to be a good person, but he's, has to be a mob boss, and like all of his examples in this were fantastic.
They were fantastic. He also did Parasite, which is one of my favorite movies. And that was, the opposites were class. So you have the upper class people and the lower class family. They need each other. Everything about the way that they live and what they need is opposite. And that creates like so much tension.
Yeah. I haven't seen Parasite, but after watching this informational video that the Hurst one, I was like, oh, I gotta see that. I knew I needed to see it. I mean, it won a freaking Oscar. Like, I know it's on my list, but I'm like, I really gotta watch.
It's amazing. But what I was gonna say was, for us, for this podcast, maybe our opposites that will create a bunch of conflict that will be really interesting for our audience is that you hate AI and I'm coming around to using it.
Yeah,
with my work.
I mean, in the few times that we've used it. Like, I can't pretend like I don't use it, but it's so helpful. And it is, like, it is incredible. There's no denying what it can bring to the table. But yeah, I feel like we should do a whole episode on our opposites in this.
Okay.
Our conflict.
Do you want to do that next time?
I think we should do that next time.
Okay, so next time, guys, Kayla and Rachel have a very heated debate. Will the podcast be able to make it?
Will we survive?
Or will they burn it all down in the process?
Oh,
Stay tuned.
Let's burn it down outside of my closet.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that sounds really good.
Okay, so conflict, and obviously we have our next episode, but the other video was the hero's gift.
Yes.
And that was also really cool, and I know I touched on that gently at the beginning of the episode, but I loved that too.
Mm-hmm. It's a gift that your character has. Some of the really obvious ones are 11 from Stranger Things,
right.
Like how she uses her gift and how she has to hide her gift, and how the gift makes sense within her world. But then there's ones that are, if you're just writing a drama or something, or just fiction, but it's very realistic. There's nothing speculative or sci-fi about it. You could think of The Good Place. So, what's Kristen Bell's character called? Do you know?
Oh, God. I was literally watching it last night when I was going to bed.
So, Kristen Bell in The Good Place.
What's
so,
her name?
The writing is so good in this show, and the dialogue especially. Her character, her gift is her, what is it? It's like her snarky...
She's very intuitive. She like catches on to people really easily, and she's very snarky. I mean, she's very edgy.
Yeah.
Eleanor.
So I'm trying to think of what he put it so well.
He did, but it was basically that she can read people and that she understands people's like inner workings really easy. It was her intuition. Basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I hated how he was talking about Paddington Bear, because Paddington Bear could not be more like it's like nails on a chalkboard for me.
Agreed.
But the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
I liked that one because it was like her naivete that it was a gift.
Yeah, her unstoppable optimism.
Yeah.
That's what makes her unbreakable.
Mm-hmm.
So but then there's like, the Star Wars. It's like Luke probably has the...
Oh yeah, he really jerked it to Star Wars. He loved that. I mean...
Actually, I guess I didn't watch this whole thing, but
yeah.
Star Wars, it's like, what's his gift? It's the Force.
The Force, and like, in his example, he like really loves Star Wars, clearly. Is obviously the Force, but then it's also this conflict inside of him and how he uses it to change who he is, and Luke's a gift, pretty much is what he was.
Luke is a gift to mankind. Yeah, so in your A Dinner for Eight, do you think that any of the characters, maybe Sam, does she have a gift that helps her?
I do think that her type A-ness is actually the gift for her in that book. It's so wildly like, God, girl, unclench. And it serves her really well. And then I think there's also this gift of when she realizes like that she doesn't need that anymore. And she like, stuff happens. But
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering for my character, Perry, this book for him in The Woman Tree, it's sort of like institutionalized, I think, would be the Save the Cat genre. And so that would be like a Katniss Everdeen kind of thing from the Hunger Games.
Mm-hmm.
or Winston in 1984. So I'm like, what is his special gift going to be? I think the idea is that, everybody in the country is trying to move on from this tragedy that happened where all the women died.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make do, and they're trying to keep a stiff upper lip and, get things back on track. But he can't. He can't let go of his memories, of his grief, of his depression, which would probably seem like sort of a flaw.
Right.
After a year, it's like you have to keep going on in life, even when horrible things happen to you.
How can he move on when he's looking at his mommy's panties every day?
So I think that that's going to really come in handy for him because he's holding on to his grief. He also has very, strong, vivid memories of everything that happened, and he's going to hold people to account.
Yeah.
Right? He isn't able to just move on and pretend that like nothing happened like everyone else, and maybe that will be his superpower.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could do
Yeah,
it.
that makes sense.
Yeah. It's not as, I don't know.
It's not the Force. Is that what you're worried about?
No, it's not going to be the Force.
No.
He's not going to be like super, I don't like superhero stuff. He's not going to be super in
But I
any
think
way.
that that's the beauty of this list was like Kimmy Schmidt doesn't have a superpower. It's just she's like been in a freaking dungeon for however many years, and now she has a different outlook on life. Yes. And so like the different outlook on life is the gift, right?
I think I really want him to have a gift.
Yeah.
But obviously when it comes to, Star Wars or The Matrix, these people's gifts are just very front and center. Whereas with the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt or The Good Place or Fleabag.
Paddington.
Okay, if anybody's wondering, Paddington's gift is his
optimism.
His optimism. No, his empathy. His charitability.
Oh, right, that was
he
it.
gives and gives and gives.
Right, and he sees the best in people.
Jesus Christ.
Do you hate marmalade?
Yeah, I don't think I'm about it either. Are you?
Yeah, no, I don't like it's. I don't like jam in general.
Really, you're not a jam girl? Not even preserves?
If I'm gonna do it, it's definitely got to be preserves. But no, I don't want it. I don't anything sweet and sticky. Not into it. Not into it. I don't like milkshakes. I don't like ice cream. I don't like syrup. Just keep it away from me. If it's sweet and it's sticky, I don't want it anywhere near me.
Oh my word! I can see the look on your face. That look of just like disgust.
Oh, it's literally. I have a visceral reaction. It's like,
But you're a baker,
I know.
and you make really good cinnamon buns.
Yes,
those are sticky.
I know.
That's
I don't.
in
I
the
don't,
name.
Yeah, I don't really eat them.
You just make them.
Yeah, I make them, and it's very specific. I have to wash my hands like my spatula cannot have sticky stuff on it. It's I mean, obviously I would wash my hands regardless
because you're a baker.
But yeah, it's an issue when there's frosting on my spatula. If it gets in my hands, dislike. I'm pushing my dislike button.
Oh, okay. So I think I am actually going to look into what my protagonist power is.
Yeah.
And I want to see how I can infuse the book with some opposites.
Yeah.
Perry is going to have a person who kind of comes alongside him, and I should make them opposites. We've talked before about The Last of Us, and they have this like happy and grumpy opposition thing going on, and I always love that. I love because the grumpy person is kind of like the straight man for the happy person, so that can really make like the jokes go. I feel like it's just like a really winning combination.
It is. And then there's always like a pivotal moment where the grumpy person sees the happy person have to be hard, and then it like wakes them up a little bit, and it's always like this.
And then they try to be happy for the happy person,
which is like so true to life, like when you see someone have to break their spirit in whatever capacity that is, and it's like, oh my God, you got broken, and whether it's in a good way or a bad way, it's like oh my God.
Yeah, especially when it's like a happy person.
Yeah, who has to like be sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm also going to look into this writing group that David had mentioned. I don't want to bug him too much, but I'm just going to fucking bug him.
Yeah, bug him. We get to know.
Yeah,
They-
or
are they
look
probably-
into other ones
Yeah.
or something. You know, you don't want to do, you can't commit to whole courses and stuff, but I'm sure you can go to events this fall or go to
definitely.
meetings here and there and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I have enough time to do that. I can't miss 5 weeks of school and then be like, here I am. I can't resolve to get a bad grade knowingly. Like there is only a certain amount of classes you can get before you lose whole letters in your grade. I'm not the teenager I once was where a C is not going to bother me. Like I definitely don't.
It's going to bother you.
It's going to bother me.
Yeah.
And I also don't want to be the one who's like, oh, what'd you guys talk about 2 weeks ago? You know, like I don't, no.
If you're going to do it, you want to do it well.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, great. So what are you going to do? Are you going to start writing a screenplay?
Well, now that the kids are back in school and I have a chunk of time, once I'm back from my trip, I'm going on a hiking trip. I plan to get back to dinner for 8 because I've taken enough time off that I'm ready to like really sink my teeth back into it. And then I am going to continue to figure out how a screenplay is written, kind of give it a go. I think it'd be really interesting in spring semester when I do take the screenwriting class if I have kind of like a one that I've done or attempted to like bring to the table and see how I did. Like I'm kind of curious as to how that would go.
Yeah, to have something that you've already put together. That would be great.
Yeah, and actually, I'll figure out a way to like bring up my idea for this screenplay in the next episode because it's AI related.
Ooh.
ChatGPT has a place in it.
Ooh. Okay. But you don't want to tell people about it?
Well, by next episode, I'll figure out how to tell people about it. Because right now
Yeah.
it's still a little bit too fresh, and I don't want to be like, here's this little egg. Let's, like I'm not ready to share my egg.
Not ready. No. Okay. Yep. The eggs. All right. We gotta have an egg metaphor somewhere in the episode from the lady with the chickens.
Okay.
Thank you guys for waiting for us
Yeah, thank you.
and listening to all the episodes. If you have a sec and you like our podcast and you like sort of hanging out with us, if you could give us a 5 stars on whatever you're listening on, that would be so very cool.
Yes, and make sure you're following us on Instagram.
Yes.
And share it if you guys, feel so inclined. Please share it with friends because we would love to get a little bit more going.
Yeah, Instagram, share it with friends, give us a rating.
Go to our website and submit something.
Oh, yeah. Submit your short story for story time.
Yeah, anything. We would really, really love to share your stuff. And if you don't want your voice, just write it in and we will read it. It's fun to hear your stuff.
Yeah.
Do it.
And we just want to hear from you in general. Like, say anything, okay?
We do. We want to hear.
Okay, we'll see you next week.
Okay, bye.